The JFKoaster by Galileo 2333. The Doveland Fun Park was a favorite for residents of the small Wisconsin town of Doveland. The park had in times past, however, been increasingly having ride incidents and people were getting hurt on the attractions. As much as the people and families of Doveland like their amusement park, lawyers and state regulators are becoming more aggressive every year. Doveland knew the park needed major upgrades. The cafe had a cotton candy machine that was always full of ants and flies. There was a popcorn cabinet with glass sides that were almost completely black with residue. A free-fall drop tower was out of operation, rusting and probably in danger of collapsing, after a malfunction years ago that left riders stranded on top for several hours and receiving sunburn severe enough they had to be hospitalized. One attraction in particular, a bumper boat pool known as the BUZZZZZ boats, featured homemade rafts powered by two-stroke engines with metal propellers. The yellow and black striped boats were meant to resemble wasps or hornets. The pool had wooden decks slippery with fuel oil and gasoline residue. The pool featured a plastic canopy supported by wooden framing. The structure over the BUZZZZZ boats pool was built in such a way that ventilation was poor and exhaust fumes from the boats were bad enough to impair consciousness of guests and staff. The noise levels in the facility exceeded 115 decibels continually. Not only did the boats lack mufflers but huge speakers surrounding the pool blasted music, usually synth-pop or hard rock and roll. Employees were known to take unauthorized payments to adjust the engines on the boats to go much faster than they were supposed to. The exposed metal propellers had, in several instances, caused serious injury to riders who had fallen from the boats. Employees were often seen smoking adjacent to the structure and oil rags were improperly discarded. Fire extinguishers were removed after guests and employees were using them to spray each other for fun while riding the bumper boats. One recurring situation where the fire extinguishers at the BUZZZZZ boats attraction would be discharged as a prank was during a yearly field trip that Ehrenberg Middle School took to the Doveland Fun Park. Ehrenberg Middle School, containing grades 5 to 8, is one of 3 junior high schools in the Doveland School District. Ehrenberg Middle School has a springtime field trip every year for its graduating 8th grade students, and there's been a school tradition paying homage to the school's namesake. The tradition involves everyone drawing straws while on the bus to the fun park. Whoever draws the short straw would be called the name Hamilton, and subjected to a fire extinguisher duel. The fire extinguisher duel would be at the BUZZZZZ boats and the student given the name Hamilton would be surrounded by other BUZZZZZ boats riders and sprayed with fire extinguishers. The fire extinguisher duel imposed on whoever drew the short straw and was labeled Hamilton, 2 years before the BUZZZZZ boats attraction was ended, is, according to some, what prompted the decision by Doveland Fun Park to remove the fire extinguishers. That year, Ehrenberg Middle School's 8th grade class trip arrived after school hours on that late May afternoon. The kids had experienced all the rides and shows Doveland Fun Park has to offer, except the BUZZZZZ boats. The BUZZZZZ boats and the fire extinguisher duel were always the grand finale to the 8th grade send-off. Daylight was fading and the boy who had been declared Hamilton during the bus ride to the park earlier was a lanky red-haired white boy 14 years old. It had become common practice yearly for the carnies to adjust the engines on the other BUZZZZZ boats for the high speed and leave the engine on Hamilton's boat unadjusted. The boy declared Hamilton, wearing swim trunks, was surrounded on the BUZZZZZ boat's lagoon by several Muslim girl students, wearing full-body cover swimsuits, ramming him and attacking with a ferocity never before seen at Ehrenberg Middle School's fire extinguisher duel. During that event, the music that thundered out of the giant speakers surrounding the pool was "The Sun Always Shines on TV" by Aha. The Muslim girls blasted him at close range with at least 25 large ABC dry chemical fire extinguishers, reportedly enlisting other kids to run all over the Doveland Fun Park gathering extinguishers from places other than the BUZZZZZ boats attraction. The barrage was enough that the engine on his boat completely choked and stalled out, and he was covered in several inches of monoammonium phosphate powder as he crouched under the seat and dashboard of the boat. The Ehrenberg Middle School crowd was the last group before the park closed for the night. The boy declared Hamilton lost consciousness, probably due to partial hypoxia from the CO2 propellant from the extinguishers. He missed the bus back to the school and he didn't wake up until 1 a.m. He found himself alone in a buzz boat in the center of the lagoon, the light from a few night lights, fuel and oil stench, and silence. He swam out of the boat, through the sewage like water and climbed onto the pool deck. He was promptly discovered by a night guard, who called the boy's parents to pick him up.